Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yugioh Everything, and welcome to my first Yugioh Zexal review. So, every Sunday I will be reviewing Zexal. It'll go Thursday Duel Monsters, Friday GX, Saturday 5Ds, and Zexal on Sunday. So we are closing off the weekend and the week with a Yugioh Zexal review. I am going to be watching subbed. Unfortunately, Crunchyroll does not have any of the subbed episodes up on their site. They only have English dub, so I can't link a site that's not verified because I could get in a lot of trouble for that. So unfortunately, I can't really put the episode in the description like I have with the first three shows and like I will always be doing with the first three shows until Crunchyroll or a verified site does upload them subbed, which hopefully will be sooner rather than later, so there won't be any link to the episode in the description, which I do apologize about. But anyway, we are going to begin. This is also the last episode where I will not be doing a sub versus dub comparison. I will start doing that for episode 2s, starting with Duel Monsters next Thursday, which is already in 4 days. Very briefly, at the beginning of the review, I will be going over the changes that the English dub made, some major changes, just quickly highlighting it. It'll probably take 30 seconds to a couple of minutes, and some episodes might have more than others, but that should be fun and should add a little more, I guess, knowledge to these reviews in case people have seen these episodes a lot of times. But anyway, we are going to get right into it. Sorry for the delay. What did I think about Zexal's first episode? Also, if you refer to it as Zale or Zexal, I've always called it Zexal. I know in the original version it is Zale, and Zexal's kind of the American or English way to say it. I probably will say Zexal, so I hope no one rips me too hard for that. But anyway, I thought the episode was enjoyable. I thought it was a pretty solid first episode. It might be one of my least favorites in terms of first episodes, but I remember when it still I thought was enjoyable. I still enjoyed watching it. I remember when Zexal first came out, I was very excited because we had a complete change of pace in the protagonist. We had a protagonist that really wasn't a great duelist. We had a protagonist that was much younger than the original three, Yugi, Judai, and Yusei, and so I kind of wanted a shakeup of things. I wanted a fresh change. It was a big reason why I wanted Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrain's protagonist to be a little older than Yuma and Yuya, because we had 6 years of the younger-looking protagonists, and it's the reason why one of my number one hopes for Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 and any new Yu-Gi-Oh! Series is for a woman, is for a girl to be the main character. I think that would be awesome. I like when it's a little bit of a change of pace. So I do enjoy, and I think I have a lot more respect than most people do for the fact that they went this route with a character that was not an incredible duelist in Yuma Tsukumo, a character that was much younger than the original three. And I know some people will counter that by saying he was annoying, and in the beginning, well, the English dub, first of all, he was much more intolerable, I thought, in the English dub. So I definitely recommend giving the Japanese version, the original version, a chance, because I think he's much more bearable in the sub version. I don't even think it's close. And I think in the beginning, yes, he's maybe a little irritating, but he really does grow, and of course we'll get into that as we go through these episodes. In the first episode, you see that he's a very fearless, a very hyper-energetic character, trying to clear a 20-barrel hurdle in gym class, which he fails miserably, trying to, I guess, hold his breath while he swims from one side of a pool to another, which he fails miserably. The key here is that he failed miserably in everything, but he says to his classmate Kotari that he doesn't really care when he fails, because he just wants to Catabingo. He wants to bring it to him, even though Catabingo, I'm pretty sure, is a made-up word, but that's the definition that we go with, that he wants to bring it to him, bring the heat, I guess you can say. And Yuma, no matter what, he always points to his key. He has this key, this pendant around his neck in a necklace form, and he says, you know, as long as I have this key, I feel like I can do anything. It's not necessarily about me achieving my goals right away. It's about me striving to achieve those goals, and eventually I will achieve those goals, which honestly, it's respectable. I think there's a lot to be said about a character, especially that young, where when they fail right away, they have no problem getting back up and trying again because they have that kind of determination and that kind of drive. And I think you do have to give credit where credit's due. I did like that a lot about this episode and about Yuma's characterization. He also keeps having this dream, this vision, whatever it is, of him being on a very small, narrow rock path with a huge door in front of him and a mysterious voice telling him, you can open this door, but you'll lose that of what's most important to you. And the first time we see him in this room or this vision, he takes a step back as if he's not fully confident. And the second he takes a step back, which I kind of like this symbolism, takes a step back, the hesitation, and the whole walkway crumbles, and he falls out of this dream, out of this vision, out of this realm, whatever it is, and he goes back into his bed or goes back into his classroom. I think he had another vision when he was sleeping in a classroom. I might be wrong about that. I might be getting that confused with Yugioh. I know Yugioh slept in classrooms a lot, but of course, towards the end of this episode, we know this is going to be a massive thing that occurs in episode 1 that has the implications for the entire show, what happens from it. Obviously, Astral comes from it, this white alien figure that shows up at the end and says 1 or 2 lines and then the episode ends, which I thought was a really cool way to end the episode. But to get there, Yuma and Kotari are walking outside of the school and they see Tetsu, Bronk in the dub. They see Tetsu dueling someone, so they run up and they see that he's dueling Shark, who is built up as this incredible duelist, someone who's competed in tournaments, as his 2 goon friends said, someone who is trying to be the duel champion, someone who just is an amazing duelist, and he wipes the floor with Tetsu, doesn't take a single point of damage, defeats Tetsu, and we learn that they were playing with Battle City rules on crack because the loser has to give up their entire deck to the other person, and so Tetsu gives up his deck to Shark, and Yuma, of course, is very angry about that and is talking about how it's not fair and it's bullying, and it is bullying, and Tetsu is talking about how they bullied him and they basically antagonized him into dueling Shark and into giving up his deck. Had they just challenged him to a normal duel, that probably wouldn't have happened. So Yuma says, I want to duel you, I want to get Tetsu's deck back, and Shark realizes Shark says, before he realizes this, he says, you have to give up, or you have to wager what's most important to you, and Yuma looks at his necklace, and Shark is a real asshole, rips off Yuma's necklace, throws it on the ground, stomps on it, and then kicks one of the pieces that shattered off of it into a bush and says to Yuma, I'm going to teach you the true meaning of value, he was trying to teach Yuma a lesson, but doing it in a real dickish way. And so him and his friends walk off and say, if you want to duel me, meet me somewhere after school, yada yada yada. So Yuma then for the next few minutes of the episode is very shattered. He has no motivation left. I mean, what he said to Kotari is that key was everything to him. That key let him be the crazy, young, fun, energetic, fearless person that he was. And without that key, without that pendant, you can just see the life is drained out of him. He doesn't want to do those hurdles that he was doing in gym class. He doesn't want to swim across the pool. It's almost like he's afraid of failure now, which he never had that fear because he always had something special to hang on to, which was that key that Shark shattered. So yes, Shark shattered the physical key, but he also shattered Yuma's spirit. So I thought the symbolism was actually really good for this episode. This episode was also, until Shark came in, definitely the most, I'd say, fun, not, maybe like with where GX was in terms of not really serious, not too intense, but it was very similar to Duel Monsters in the sense that once Kaiba came, Shark was pretty much like a smaller version of Kaiba. Once Kaiba came in that first episode, once Shark comes in this first episode, the tone changes drastically and immediately. Right, 5D's first episode, as we watched yesterday, was very serious the whole way through. GX was a lot more lighthearted the whole way through, at least I'm talking about the first episode. And Zexal, very similar to Duel Monsters, because once Shark comes, that fun that we were having, that, fun-spirited Yuma Tsukumo that we were all watching, really quickly did a 180. And so Yuma does end up dueling Shark, but before then we have a very nice, heartwarming scene between Yuma and Tetsu rides his bike and says to Yuma, you're not actually going to duel Shark, right? I mean, this is my responsibility. If you can't beat me in a duel, there's no way you can beat Shark in a duel. And it's also very uncharted territory for us as a viewer, because we are so used to the main character being able to duel anyone and being able to defeat almost anyone. So the fact that they're already underselling Yuma in this case makes you very, unsure about what's going to happen. I mean, in the back of your mind, you're always like, well, the protagonist is going to win 99% of the duels they're in. I mean, Yusei never lost. Yugi never fairly lost, I guess you can say, surrendered to Rebecca, gave into darkness against the Seal, and the Pegasus lost. He just kind of ran out of time on a videotape, which was kind of bizarre from my memories, but I'll be watching that episode again very soon. And Judai lost, I think, 3 times, and yeah, Yusei never lost. So it's very uncharted territory with a protagonist that we don't have 100% trust in to get the job done, and I really do like that about Zexal, because it's such a change of pace in that sense, and I just love when a show, especially a Yu-Gi-Oh show, takes a unique take on their main protagonist. But Tetsu gets the key back. He gets part of the key back, the missing piece, gives it to Yuma, and rides off. But Yuma also has a very good statement. Yuma's like, I'm not doing this for you, I'm doing this for me. He destroyed something that was so precious to me right in front of my eyes. I need to fight him for myself, not for you. And I think when Tetsu hears that, Tetsu kind of realizes, all right, this isn't entirely my fault then, and it's just Sharks being an asshole, and he gives Yuma the piece of the key. So that was a good scene. The duel between Yuma and Shark starts, and Shark dominates Yuma. Yuma makes a mistake where he says he's playing a trap card face down, which you're not supposed to do, because obviously you can play a trap or a spell card face down. So that was a mistake. Shark is just berating him. And then Yuma has this speech towards the end where he talks about how he doesn't need to rely on people. I mean, Shark accuses him of having to rely on an item for confidence, and he can't do anything by himself, and that really sets off Yuma. And so Yuma starts, which then again, when you think about the whole show of Zexal, Yuma does get a lot of help from Astral, and he does get a lot of help and inspiration from his friends and from that necklace in episode 1. So I don't think Shark was necessarily wrong, and I think that's probably why Yuma got so defensive, because Shark probably wasn't wrong, but in Yuma's head, he's not doing, he doesn't get all his inspiration from this necklace. He does get it from himself. So I think Yuma's almost having an inner self battle in this episode as well. But once he says that, he goes back into this realm where he sees the door. No, without hesitation. They even show his foot the same way they showed it when it moved backwards and he fell through. But this time, the foot moves forward. So I like how they did small things like that. Yuma yells Catabingo as he runs to the door, unlocks the door, and we see in his eye the outline of Astral flying towards him. Immediately when that happens, though, it seems like these things called numbers get released, because the second after, Shark gets this weird light around him, and he starts saying how he feels this energy, this evil, corrupt energy pulsating through his body, and he summons number 17, Leviathan Dragon, which attacks Yuma's monster. Yuma is down on the ground, and then you just see Astral, and Astral says, stand up and win. And Yuma's like, who the hell are you? And that's how the episode ends, which I thought was a great episode. So overall, I really did enjoy the episode. It was maybe middle of the road episode 1s, I'd say, of Yu-Gi-Oh! But again, that's just the first episode. You can't judge a series by its cover. And even if it was a middle of the road, maybe lower end episode 1, I still really loved the episode. I loved Yuma's character. Shark I thought was good. Shark was really an asshole in this episode, and I thought he was the rival or the antagonist, the villain, whatever he's going to turn out to be, that the show needs. And it's good to have a character like that, because I like the characters that are just assholes. I really do. I think those are my favorite villains. Bakura, Marek, and so Shark really fits. I'm not saying he's in that class. I don't think many characters are in that class, but he fit it well, and it's good that this universe already has kind of a threatening character to make the show more serious, because without Shark, it would have been a very lighthearted and maybe unthreatening first episode, but Shark really helped the episode, and I thought the symbolism was great. Really liked Yuma's character, but besides Yuma and Shark, there weren't any other characters that really caught my appeal. Kotari was nice, but it seems like she probably is going to be more of a cheerleading type character, very similar to Anzu from Duel Monsters. Tetsu was alright. Tetsu did have a nice moment where he retrieved Yuma's pendant, but overall, still, I enjoyed the episode, and I thought the symbolism was well, and I really did like Yuma's character and Shark's as well. So anyway, guys, leave all your thoughts down below in the comment section. I cannot wait to talk to you down below about this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next Sunday for Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal episode 2, and I hope you have an amazing day.
じゃない